Hi everyone, Matthew Monas here, and a lot of you guys have been asking me to do a what's on my phone video. Now I've never done one of these videos on the channel before, so I figured there's no better time than the present. Now the phone that I am going to be doing it on is the iPhone 6s Plus, and that's because I've been using this phone mostly as my daily driver. But if you do like this video and you find it entertaining, let me know in the comments below, and I'd be happy to do it on my Android device, maybe the Nexus 6P or even the Samsung Galaxy S7. Alright, so let's start off with the home screen. And as you can see here, I have a very clean home screen. There's only one page of icons and folders, and there's nothing to the right. I believe having everything right front and center, it makes my life a lot easier. I can get to the things I need to faster. So let's start off with the top left. And on the top left, I have the extras folder. This is basically where I keep all my junk, all the stuff that I barely use or very rarely use ever. Like for example, the compass. I never need to use a compass. I'm usually going straight. Tips, I don't need any tips. My wife gives enough of them to me every single day. Voice memos, I already talk to myself a lot. I don't need them to be recorded on the phone. And of course, find friends, which I don't have any, so why do I want to start looking for them now? Other things include like find my iPhone, which I hope I never have to use because I don't want to lose my phone. And then of course there's Apple Music, which I think no one uses, and that's because Spotify is better. Yeah, that's right, I said it, Spotify is better. Now this one here, GarageBand, I've been contemplating for I've been having nightmares on whether or not I should take it out of this folder. It's a really good app and I've been using it a lot lately because you can do some pretty cool things with music. Like you don't even need to be good. Anything you do will make you sound like a professional DJ. So I definitely think you guys should go check that out. Now of course there's other things in here that I don't use, like the calculator. I do use a calculator, I just usually access it by swiping from the bottom upwards and then selecting it from there. And of course, Apple Maps. I don't want to die, so I use Google Maps instead. Beside that is the education folder, and for some reason there's only two applications in here that I don't use, Pages and Keynote. In fact, I don't understand why I still have it on this phone. You know what? We're gonna do a live deletion. That's what we're gonna do right now. I know you guys are excited about this. Let's live delete. All right, here we go. 3D Touch just doesn't want to let me delete it. All right, Pages, you're gone. Keynote, you're gone. Boom. I now have an extra space on my home screen. I have no idea what I'm gonna put there now. That just made things worse. Now, in its old location, we now have the calendar, which is obviously the place I go to check out my day. If I open it up to you guys right now, there's really nothing there, so it's kind of depressing, so I don't wanna show it to you. Photos is beside that. This is basically photos that I take with my camera, obviously. And as you can see here, the last few photos that I took were from a TELUS and Samsung event that I did over the weekend. And of course, you might recognize some of these guys in the photo. If you do, let me know who they are in the comments down below. Now, beside the Photos app, I have my camera app, which I use obviously to take pictures. I mean, what else am I gonna use it for? But it's there, and right now it's looking at a very beautiful piece of meat. That is one good looking piece of meat. Wow. Anyways, got off sidetrack there. Below that, we have the weather icon, which I never use because the weather in Canada is really depressing. It's usually cold, it's usually gray, and I don't want to look at it because I can really look out outside. Like, look how bad it is right now. Outside, it's rainy, it's windy, it's disgusting. So that's the weather app. Don't use it often unless it's in the summertime. Beside that is another application called Pushover. Now, for those of you not familiar with Pushover, it basically pushes notifications to your phone. So for example, I use it for TV shows and movies. Whenever a new TV show comes out or a movie is available on DVD, I'll get a notification directly to my phone. I can go ahead and rent it or buy it. Beside that, we have Clock, which obviously lets me tell the time. And of course, it shows my depressing alarm times. As you can see there, I have 5:15 and 5:45. I hate my life. This is what it looks like when you have kids. Besides that, we have games, and as you can see there, I have tons of games like Caillou's Puzzle, Hair Salon, Peppa's Paint Box, My Tom, all great games that I don't play. They're obviously for my daughter, not myself, but I do sometimes play Temple Run and Freeblade, which I definitely think you should check out if you have an iPhone 6s or 6s Plus, because it takes advantage of 3D Touch and it's a lot of fun. Below that, we have the App Store, which I use obviously to download applications. And then of course we have my coffee folder, and the majority of the time I'm usually at Tim Hortons, which I'd say about 95% of the time. And then of course there's Starbucks as well. We have settings, and then of course a utilities folder, which I don't use too many things out of here, except for LastPass and Gym Boss. But Geekbench, GFX Bench GL, these are all synthetic benchmarks. I really don't use them that often anymore. I find the best reviews are the ones that are based on your actual experiences and not so much the synthetic benchmarks. Those days have come and gone. Below that, we have my social media folder. This is where I do all my chatting and I talk to you guys. I got Facebook, I got Twitter. I don't actually use the native Twitter application. I just have it there so that plugs up with the Apple API. Instagram, obviously for Instagramming, and Studio or Creator Studio, which allows me to check my YouTube analytics, see how my videos are doing, and respond to comments on the channel. Now, one app I've been contemplating is Snapchat. I use it a few times. I haven't used it since. If you guys want to see me Snapchat more often, like me sitting at my desk and editing video like an obese man, let me know in the comments below. I'd be happy to do that. Of course, we have LinkedIn, which is a more professional social network. I still post my videos there. Social Blade, which allows me to check out my stats on my channel to see what my future projections are and things like that. Besides that, we have Periscope, Slack, which is a great tool for any company that needs to keep in touch with their employees. You can post things in there, chat with them, and it's all in one location, and it won't bog down your actual inbox when you use email. Now in the next section, we have Layout, Boomerang, which is all part of Instagram, Beam, which I don't use at all. I think I've used it twice. Does anybody actually use Beam? If they do, let me know in the comments down below. I'm quite curious. Hootsuite, which is great if you want to post to more than one social network at one time. And of course, we have SubCount, which is used to see how many subs are on your channel. Besides that, the next folder over is my productivity folder, which basically shows all the stuff that I use on a day-to-day basis, like Google Drive, the actual Google Now application I use quite often to look at news. I use the print application to print on my Canon printer through Wi-Fi, Sheets, Docs. I don't use Google+. Don't know why it's in there. That actually should be in the social media folder. See, you guys are doing me a favor. You guys are actually helping me clean up my phone. So damn this 3D Touch. Let's move it to the next folder without deleting it by accident. All right. See, now it's in the proper location. I knew I wasn't sleeping properly at night. And of course, that's basically it. And we have Trello, which is also used for work. It allows you to pin boards and cards and coordinate with team members on exactly what you're working on. Beside that, we have the entertainment folder. This is where I get my entertainment game on. I got Spotify for listening to music, Netflix for watching movies, YouTube for YouTube, podcasts, which I don't use, but you can't delete it, unfortunately. And that's because I use Pocket Casts instead. Now, if you haven't used Pocket Casts, I definitely recommend checking it out. It's great if you do a lot of cross-platform work. So I'm always switching between my Android device and iPhone, and I don't want to lose the location of what I last heard on the podcast. So as soon as I switch, I can play from where I last played from on my previous device. We got Playbooks for reading, we got Chromecast for casting to the TV, Plex for watching movies and TV shows since I have a home theater system, Cineplex to get my movie game on, and of course Rogers Anyplace TV if I want to watch live television. Finance is all my business related type apps, so Kijiji, eBay, PayPal, OpenTable for booking restaurants. We have RBC so I can do my banking, My Rogers so I can pay my internet bill, and my TELUS one so I can obviously pay my cell phone bill. Now, Tweetbot, this is important. I use Tweetbot a lot. This is my favorite Twitter application on iOS. I use it so often that it gets its own spot outside of a folder. It's a big deal. It takes a lot of work to get there. Not so many applications are privileged to have that real estate on my phone. Travel is another folder that I use for all my traveling stuff. So Google Maps if I don't want to get lost, Uber for Ubering, Rocketman is used for the TTC and subway system here in Toronto, and of course the Air Canada app when I'm flying on Air Canada. Now, Alien Blue, I don't know why it's on the home screen. I should put that in a folder. I don't use it that often, but when I do check out Reddit, Alien Blue is where I'm at or what I'm using to get there. Beside Alien Blue is TeamViewer, which I use so often to connect to my computers at home if I need to transfer something or do something on the computer. I can do it directly from my phone. And below that, I have my Watch folder, which I don't use that often. I probably use the Pebble Time the most often. I don't have an Apple Watch. Android Wear I don't use unless I have a review unit in. Maybe I'll buy an Apple Watch one of these days. Maybe the second one, I don't know, we'll see. Beside that, I have the Ring application, which I'm testing, the Ring Video Doorbell. And of course, Speed Test, which most of you guys know as a good way to test the amount of bandwidth that you're connected to. So if you're in a hotel room and you want to know how fast the connection is, or even if you're at home and you're wondering if your internet's too slow, you can do a quick speed test to see how things are going, and then you can diagnose from there. Now on the bottom row, the main row, I have my phone application, obviously to dial, Outlook for my email. I find Outlook to be the best on iOS. Now, if you have your own favorite email application, let me know in the comments below. I'm always looking for cool and new email applications. Safari to browse the web, and of course, my messaging app. Messages, I probably use the second most for text messaging and iMessage, obviously. Messenger for Facebook messaging, and Hangouts, which I use like 99% of the time. That's where all my friends are. That's where I talk to most of the people that I talk to. And of course, Skype for the odd conference call. And I think the last thing I need to mention is the wallpaper. So this wallpaper, I don't remember where I got it from, but it has a very material design look to it. If you want a copy of it, let me know in the comments below, and we'll search the internet and find it for you guys and place a link on my website. So that pretty much sums up what's on my iPhone. If you liked this one, I'd be happy to do one for Android as well. Let me know in the comments below and I'll get on that right away. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you're feeling sexy, make sure to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And as always, I will see you in the next video.